Welcome back to RF Coins. Today, we're diving into an exciting coin that might be hiding right now in your change. The 1999 D Roosevelt dime. A small coin that holds big history and incredible potential value. Yes, even a simple dime can be worth a lot of money, and today, we're unpacking why the 1999 D Liberty dime is a coin you should never overlook. Before we dive deep, make sure you've subscribed to the RF Coins channel, where we bring you facts, stories, and real market insights that you won't find anywhere else. Let's get into it. The 1999 D Roosevelt dime is a coin minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by that tiny D mint mark on the front of the coin. While millions of these dimes were produced, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. To most people, it's just another 10-cent piece. But to collectors, a 1999 D dime in certain conditions holds impressive value. We're talking about coins worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on their grade, strike, and condition. To truly understand the value of this coin, we need to go back to its origins. The Roosevelt dime was first minted in 1946 to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. After his death in 1945, the U.S. Mint released the dime in his honor, not only because he led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II but also because of his advocacy for the March of Dimes campaign, focused on defeating polio. Since then, the Roosevelt dime's design has remained largely the same, making each year and mint mark uniquely important to collectors. Now, fast forward to 1999. This was a transitional period for coin collecting. The United States Mint had just started producing the now beloved state quarters, and collector interest in modern coins skyrocketed. But while all eyes were on the quarters, the Roosevelt dime quietly continued production, and 1999 became one of the most overlooked yet surprisingly valuable years for the series. So just how rare is the 1999 D dime? Well, from a mintage standpoint, over 1 billion of these dimes were produced. But here's the twist. While billions exist, only a tiny fraction were struck in near-perfect condition. Those are the coins that can turn a simple dime into a valuable collectible. And even more valuable are the special varieties and errors that slipped past the mint's quality control during production. Let's talk about what makes these coins potentially worth money. One of the biggest factors is condition. A 1999 D dime in circulation might only be worth 10 cents or maybe a bit more if it's lightly worn, but when you find one in mint state condition, especially graded MS67, MS68, or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, the value explodes. Some collectors have paid well over $800 for a single coin in top condition. Yes, a dime worth more than $800. And we're not talking about a rare ancient coin or a mistake that's impossible to find. We're talking about a modern dime, from 1999. Now you're probably wondering how a dime you might find in your change can be worth so much. The answer lies in the quality and rarity of pristine examples. Coins that are well struck, with sharp details, no scratches, no wear, and no toning are extremely rare, because most dimes go straight into circulation, where they get scratched and worn almost instantly. But if you find an untouched 1999 D dime, especially one pulled directly from a mint roll or set, you might just be holding a high-value collectible. But wait, there's more. Error coins from 1999 D can be worth even more. Even though the mint uses advanced technology, mistakes still happen. A double die error, a clipped planchet, off-center strike, or missing clad layer can turn your 10-cent coin into a jackpot. Some of these rare errors have sold for thousands of dollars at auction, and they can be hiding anywhere. So, if you find a 1999 D dime that looks strange or unusual, don't spend it. Take a closer look, because you might be holding something incredibly valuable. Let's talk a bit more about the market. The coin market is always changing, and like gold and silver, values can shift over time based on collector demand. Right now, high-grade 1999 D Roosevelt dimes can reach auction prices near $898, $959, or even more, depending on rarity and the specific grade. Keep in mind, that's for a single dime. That's right. Less than a gram of metal, worth almost $1,000, now imagine this. You're going through your change, and you spot a shiny dime from 1999 with a D mint mark. You take a closer look. It's nearly flawless, full of shine, no scratches. You send it off to be graded. Weeks later, the results are in. It comes back as MS-68 full torch, one of the highest scores possible. Suddenly, your dime isn't just pocket change. It's worth hundreds or maybe even over $1,000. These opportunities aren't just dreams. They happen to everyday people who know what to look for. And that's why we're here at RF Coins. Today we're going to explore a coin that might at first glance look ordinary, but there's more than meets the eye. We're talking about the 2002 D dime from the United States Mint, part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series featuring President Franklin D. Roosevelt. You might hear people talk about it in passing, but by the end of this video you'll understand its history, its current market value, and the real story behind, is it worth a lot of money? Spoiler, maybe, but with caveats. So grab your notebooks and let's get into it. Point 1. The history and background first, a little background so we understand where this coin comes from. The Roosevelt dime series was introduced in 1946 in honor of President Roosevelt, following his death in 1945. Numismatic database +2 Wikipedia +2 The basic design features Roosevelt on the obverse, front, and on the reverse a torch in the center flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing peace and strength. Numismatic database +1 Now fast forwarding to the modern era, in 1965, a major composition change occurred. Before 1965, dimes were made of 90% silver. After the Coinage Act of 1965, the dime became a clad coin, outer layers of copper-nickel around a copper core. Wikipedia +1 So the 2002 D dime is not silver, it is part of the copper-nickel clad series, unless you're talking about special proof coins, but that's another story. The D mint mark indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint in Denver, Colorado. The catalog confirms that the 2002 D minting is part of the normal circulation coinage. Usecoinbook.com The mintage figure for 2002 D is very large. According to sources, over 1.37 billion coins were struck at Denver in 2002 for the Roosevelt dime series. Wikipedia +1 That means availability is very high. So from a historical viewpoint, this is a common date, part of the standard circulation series, modern era, clad composition. Nothing spectacular on face value, but that doesn't mean there are no interesting aspects or value possibilities. Point 2. Why collectors might care? You might ask, if millions were made, why would anyone care about this coin? Good question. There are a few angles. A. Condition matters because so many were made and circulated. Most 2002 D dimes you find in pocket change will show signs of wear. Collectors always gravitate toward coins in uncirculated condition, no circulation wear, often designated MS, mint state, grades. Even in that category, the abundance of coins keeps values modest. According to one price guide, most circulated examples today are worth in the tens of cents. NGC Coin +1B, variety or error coins. The real play happens when you find a coin with a special variety or minting error. For example, one website lists error examples of the 2002 D dime, folded over strike, missing clad layer, phantom design, etc., that have sold for over $1,000 in rare cases. Coin value checker. So if you have a standard 2002 D dime, it's common. If you have something offbeat, that's when things get interesting. C. Appeal of completing series. Many collectors aim to complete full sets of Roosevelt dimes, for each mint, each year, etc. The 2002 D is a key date for that year and mint. While common, it still holds value as part of ASET. So the message, yes, this coin is collectible, but you have to inspect condition, mint mark, and any unusual features if you want. Worth a lot of money. Point 3. Current market value. What to expect? Now we get to the key question. What is the current market value of the 2002 D dime? Especially given that I saw you referenced $.898.958 in your prompt, let's clarify what standard guides say. Here's what the references say. According to USA Coin Book, the 2002 D dime in uncirculated MS Plus condition is estimated at $2.47 or more. usacoinbook.com. According to the NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, price guide, circulated examples are worth roughly 15 cents to 35 cents in typical condition. NGC Coin. According to another site, Coin Appraiser, normal 2002 D dime is valued around 10 cents in absence of any special features or condition. Sell Rare Coins. A key date/value list shows this coin is in the $2-$3 range for uncirculated in that year and mint. CoinCollecting.com. Bottom line, for a standard 2002 D dime, unless it is in spectacular condition or has a rare variety/error, the value is just a little above face value in most cases. The figures you quoted, like $898 or $958, appear not to align with mainstream price guides for a standard coin of this type. Now, if you do have an error coin or an extremely high-grade uncirculated specimen with certification, then values can shoot upward, but those are exceptional. Point 4. What drives upside value, and what doesn't? If you're hoping that your 2002 D dime is worth a lot of money, here's what to check, and what to temper expectations on. What increases value? Condition. If the coin is uncirculated, with full mint luster, no marks, sharp details, for example, full bands, on the reverse where the oak branch bands are fully separated and crisp, then it will command a premium. Certification. If it is graded by a professional service, PCGS, NGC, and receives a high grade MS65, MS66, etc., that gives confidence to buyers and can boost value. Minting error or variety. If the coin shows an unusual minting error, misstrike, missing clad, double strike, etc., those are rare and collectible. As mentioned above, some 2002 dimes with error features have sold in 4 figures. Coin value check. Rarity of variety. If the coin has a variant that is much scarcer than the regular issue, then supply/demand can push the price up. What limits value? Massive mintage. With over 1 billion minted, the standard 2002 D dime is abundant. That means basic examples, especially circulated, are common. Clad composition/modern date. Since this is a modern dime, post-1965 clad, and not silver, many collectors place a premium on older silver dimes. Wear and damage. Circulated examples lose value if there's wear, rim nicks, scratches, cleaning, or other damage. Condition. Premium limits, even for modern coins. Unless they are near perfect, the premium over face value is modest. Point 5. Your specific case, $898.958, claim you mentioned $898.958, which I interpret perhaps as $898.958 or roughly $899, in your prompt regarding current market value. Based on the standard references, that would be well above what mainstream guides suggest for a standard 2002 D dime in normal condition. So let's walk through possibilities. If you have a standard 2002 D dime, circulated, it's likely worth around $0.10-$0.35. If you have an uncirculated 2002 D dime in very high grade, say MS65 or better, value might rise into low dollars, $2 to $10 or more possibly. If you have an error coin variety, rare grade, certified by major grading company, it could command hundreds of dollars or more, so values like $800 to $900 may be plausible, but only in that specialized scenario and with documentation. So I suggest, before assuming $898 value, check whether your coin has any of the special features, error/variety, what its condition is, and whether it is certified. Without that, the standard market value is far lower. It might help to get it graded and seek expert opinion if you believe your coin is something special. Point 6. Tips for you as a collector/seller. Since you run RF coins and share information with your audience, here are some practical tips to include and keep in mind. Always verify the authorization of grading if you go that route. Make sure the grading agency credentials are valid. Check the certification number online. When selling, provide high-quality photos, obverse, reverse, edge, any mint mark, any errors. Show strike detail and anywhere, for your viewers. Encourage them to check mint marks, condition, and whether their coin is certified before believing extremely high values. Encourage setting realistic expectations. Lots of modern coins are common and will only fetch modest premiums. Exceptions exist, but they're rare. If you have a suspected error or variety coin, get expert appraisal, numismatist, coin dealer, and ask for provenance/graded documentation. Keep coins safe. Store and holders, avoid cleaning, as cleaning can reduce value. Monitor market trends. Values for modern coins can shift modestly, but dramatic jumps usually relate to discoveries of rare varieties or errors. Today we're shining the spotlight on a humble coin that many pass by, the 2003 D dime from the United States Mint. Yes, the dime may look ordinary, but even ordinary coins can hold stories, and sometimes value, if you know what to look for. So get comfortable and let's dive into the world of the US dime, the 2003 D issue, its history, and what it's worth today on the market. Introduction to the US dime. Before we zoom in on the 2003 D, it's essential to understand the dime's place in American coinage. The US dime, 10-cent piece, has been around since the late 18th century and carries more than just a face value of 10 cents. It's part of America's coinage heritage. Wikipedia +1 in 1796. The first circulating US dime appeared under the draped bust design. Over the centuries the design and metal composition changed, but the role remained, a small coin, representing a tenth of a dollar, with its own story. Wikipedia +1 by 1946 the Roosevelt dime was introduced, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt. From that point forward, the dime carried his likeness. Coincollecting.com and compositionally, after the Coinage Act of 1965 the silver content was removed. From 1965 on, dimes were made of a copper nickel clad over a copper core. Wikipedia +1 So by 2003, this is what we're dealing with, a clad coin, produced for circulation in huge quantities, but even such coins can hold interest for the collector. Focus on the 2003 D dime, mintage, composition and design. The 2003 D dime was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D mint mark, and belongs to the Roosevelt dime series. 1946 to present. APMEX +1 key specifications, denomination, 10 cents diameter, about 17.9 mm weight, approximate 2.27 grams, in modern clad form, composition, copper nickel clad over copper core. APMEX +1 The mintage is enormous. The 2003 D had a mintage of some 986,500,000 coins. APMEX +1 that means it is extremely common in the scheme of things. Countless of these exist, many in pocket change, many in circulation. And that means for the average example the value will hover close to face value. We'll see exactly what that means in a moment, history and why it's interesting. Even though it's a modern, common coin, the 2003 D dime still carries the story of the Roosevelt dime series, the tribute to FDR, the connection with the March of Dimes campaign, which Roosevelt supported, and the continuity of US circulating coinage. That story gives the dime context. Coincollecting.com Also, as collectors we know that common doesn't mean worthless. While most will trade at or near face value, special conditions, high grade, uncirculated, full bands, or error varieties, can push value above the mundane. For the 2003 D dime, there are such opportunities. Coin Value Checker +1 So one big message, if you have a 2003 D dime, yes it may be common, but inspect it carefully. Check condition, check for full bands, on the torch reverse of the dime series, check for unusual errors. Those are what elevate value, current market value. What's it worth? Now let's get to the question you're really here for. What is the 2003 D dime worth today in the market? Here's the breakdown. For a typical circulated 2003 D dime, the value is roughly face value, meaning about 10 cents in US terms. Many sources indicate values of around 10 cents or little above for average circulated coins. Sell rare coins +1 for uncirculated examples, you might see modest premiums. According to one source, MS-64 to MS-66 uncirculated coins are worth perhaps $5 to $12 or so. APMEX plus 1 but, and this is the important, but, error coins or coins with dramatic minting flaws can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, a 2003 MS-65 with a die crack sold for around $1,175. Another off-center or broadstrike error from the 2003 series pulled $800 to $1,300 in auction. Coin value checker. So if you were told your 2003 D dime is worth a lot of money, you must check, is it a regular issue in circulated condition, or is it special, error, high grade, rare variety? Most regular ones will not be worth large amounts. Also, one must note, some websites list huge possible values, e.g., $1 to $100,000 depending on grade, for the 2003 D dime, but those top values apply only for extremely rare or certified error coins in top grades. Numismatic database. In short, if you have a standard 2003 D dime in typical condition, its value is close to face. If you have something exceptional, get it graded, document it, show it off. Why the discrepancy between common and worth a lot, you might wonder. Why does a coin with nearly a billion minted can be worth a lot in some cases? The answer lies in two factors: condition and minting anomalies. Condition: coins that remain uncirculated, show full mint luster, strong strike detail, and no damage command premiums. But with modern clad issues, even those premiums are modest because so many exist. Minting anomalies, errors/varieties: when something in the minting process deviated, off-center strike, broad strike, die crack, clipped planchet, double die, etc., then the coin becomes numismatically interesting. That rarity drives value. The 2003 series offers such opportunities. Coin value checker. Another factor: collectors often chase FS, full bands, on the torch reverse of Roosevelt dimes. For earlier issues this is a strong premium. For 2003 D it still matters, though the baseline value is low because so many exist. Graysheet.com plus 1. So, the takeaway: regular worn coin equals face value. Uncirculated good coin equals modest premium. Error or extraordinary specimen equals potentially very high value. Tips for owners and collectors. For RF Coins audience, if you own a 2003 D dime or are thinking of acquiring one, here are my recommendations. Inspect condition. Check for wear, marks, loss of luster. If it looks sharp and uncirculated, it may be a candidate for a higher grade. Check reverse torch bands. On the reverse of the Roosevelt dime there are horizontal bands across the torch. Strong, complete bands, full bands, are desirable. Examine for errors. Look closely for oddities, misstrikes, off-center, clipped planchets, die breaks/cracks. If you find something unusual, research and possibly get it graded. Certification helps. If you believe you have a high grade or error coin, grading by a professional service, e.g., Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can unlock value and trust. Keep market realities in mind. While coins are fun and collectible, many modern common coins have minimal premiums. Don't expect enormous value unless the coin is exceptional. Preservation: store your coins in a cool, dry place, avoid handling by bare fingers, keep them in protective holders. Any scratch, cleaning or damage will reduce value.